What's going on, everybody? This is Brian from SneakerFiles.com. Recapping the news. I'm finally back. I'm feeling a lot better than I was 2 weeks ago. And before I get into some of the highlights in this video, if you got a second, greatly appreciate a thumbs up. And if you're new here, make sure to subscribe by hitting the button below. I believe we're about 100, give or take, away from 150,000 subscribers. Any day now, we should be breaking that milestone, and that's thanks to you guys. Now, for some of the highlights in this video, we have a first look at the Air Jordan 3 White Cement Reimagined, as well as some on-feed photos. I also have details on the upcoming Air Jordan 2 Black Cement, and some information on the Air Jordan 1 High OG Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Now, there's a ton more from Jordan Brand. I mean, a lot of first looks, new release dates, all that is in this video, as well as a solid lineup from Nike. Other than that, we got one thing from Asics. And now, without wasting too much more of your time, let's jump into the news. The Whitaker Group has connected with Asics to release two colorways of the Gel Lyte 5 that are designed by the Charlotte Lab School students. So just to read a bit from Social Status's website, a few years ago, amid a pandemic, Charlotte Lab School students were logging into a virtual learning platform hosted by the Whitaker Group, and Asics team leads in design, marketing, branding, merchandising, sales, and creative. These students logged in for their session over weeks, months, and what turned into a couple years. Through dedication, resilience, and overall team effort, a limited Eternal Summer Gel Lyte 5 came to life in two colorways. Charlotte Lab School, an innovative independent school with a non-traditional way to approach necessary academics, translated their everyday practices and student support into every part of this project. Over the course of their virtual learning, students covered key functions necessary to creating a shoe, bringing their eye into every part of the design, with signatures and script even in the box design and interior of the shoe, inspired by what summer break, the feeling of excitement during this time period, and the rush on returning back to school, a nostalgic feeling relatable to many of us. The Gel Lyte 5 was crafted in gray and yellow. The gray colorway pair features Nimbus Cloud and Pistachio Green accents, softening the summer days, while the yellow is a vibrant pair with Moroccan blue standout pieces, both in hairy suede materials and an extra pair of laces. So for the release details, launching on Saturday, December 17th at socialstatuspgh.com at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time and Social Status Spaces, the Gel Lyte 5 will retail at $140, with sizing available in 4 men, 5.5 women, to a 13 men, which is a 14.5 women. Each colorway is limited to 1,500 numbered pairs. The Nike Air Max 1 Ugly Duckling, which consists of the Honeydew pair and Pecan, is expected to release on December 20th. Now, I went on to Nike.com, I searched the product code. I didn't see any of the shoes pop up, nor did I see them pop up on the Sneakers app at the time of recording. However, things could change. But for now, December 20th is the current release date, and the retail price is $160 each. Billie Eilish has two Nike Air Force 1 low colorways dropping this week. One pair comes in mushroom, while the other pair is dressed in sequoia. Now, if you're interested in purchasing one or both, they drop on December 14th. Retail price is $140. You can also grab them on the Sneakers app. It's going to be a busy week for the Air Force 1. We have two more pairs dropping. This time it's the collaboration between Ambush and Nike Sportswear. And the first two colorways set to release is the Game Royal pair, which comes dressed in Game Royal and Vivid Sulfur, while the other pair is known as Pine Green. That features a Pine Green and Citron colorway. Now, there is two more colorways, but we don't have a release date for those, and the first comes in Phantom and Black, while the second features Black and White. For the Pine Green and Game Royal pairs, they will drop on December 16th. The retail price is $190, and they will be available on the Sneakers app. After restocking the Syracuse and Kentucky pairs in 2022, Nike Sportswear will bring back the Nike Dunk Low St. John's. Now, this is a rumor for now. It's not confirmed as of yet, but it's looking good for now. and the last time the shoe released was in July of 2020, and at that time the retail price was $100. Now they're going to release sometime in 2023. We don't have a specific date nor a time frame. However, when they do drop, the new retail price will be $110. So you're going to be spending $10 more. However, I do think that's going to be less than the resale price or what it is right now. I believe I leaked this information when I wasn't putting out videos. And if you missed out and you didn't see it going around the internet, the Nike KD3 All-Star will be making a return in 2023. Now, originally this pair dropped on February 17th, 2011 during All-Star Weekend, and the retail price at that time was $88. Well, after the news came out, a few days ago, official images popped up of the 2023 pair, which looks on point compared to the original release. Now, unfortunately, we don't have a specific release date. However, they are expected to debut in February, and the retail price will be $130. So it's gone up quite a bit, and let me know your thoughts on this shoe returning down below. I'm sure we got a few Griffey fans out there that watch these videos, so I wanted to include the upcoming Nike Air Griffey Max 1 Cincinnati Reds. Now, this pair isn't like the 2010 release. I know a lot of people want that shoe to return. And this pair comes just in a pure platinum, university red, and white colorway. Utilizing platinum leather and nubuck on the base, we have red on the ankle strap, pull tab, swoosh, air units, and the rubber outsole. Finishing the look is a white midsole. Now these are clean, but they're not like the OG release, of course. Or I should say the older release, the color blocking that is. And currently they are expected to debut sometime in spring 2023. The retail price will be $170. Next year, Nike Sportswear will have a full lineup of Chinese New Year releases. Now, in the previous videos, I did showcase various dunks, but there's a new pair that recently popped up that I found interesting. So, in 2011, Nike Sportswear released the Air Force 1 Year of the Rabbit. Now, for 2023, they're going to drop a Dunk Low, which pays tribute to that Air Force 1 from 2011. I'll throw up an image of the Air Force 1 Year of the Rabbit from 2011 if you don't know what that shoe is, but this pair will feature a white, crimson, and varsity royal colorway. As you can see, the blocking resembles that of the Air Force 1. It features gray suede on the base, white leather lands on the overlays, we have crimson on the chenille swoosh that lands on the lateral side, and then royal blue fills in the swoosh on the medial side. Highlighting the shoe, we have a rabbit logo on the lateral heel and insoles. Other details includes Chinese characters on the tongue, a translucent outsole with the years 2011 and 2023 shown. So at this time, we don't have a specific release date. It's probably going to drop in the early part of 2023 and no retail price. The Nike Air Flight Huarache, Lakers Away, was made for Kobe Bryant, and for the first time, the shoes will release to the public. The pair features a black varsity purple and Del Sol colorway, which matches the Lakers Away colors, highlighted with black nubuck on the overlays, while purple and yellow appear on the booty. Finishing the look is a black midsole. Now, I don't think this shoe is going to have any specific detailing to Kobe Bryant, although that would be dope. And the images you're looking at is the original pair, not the 2023, but the shoe is expected to drop in fall, and the retail price will be $125. Now, hearing the news that this pair was returning once again was a little bit surprising to me, since the last time we saw the model drop was in 2020, so only 3 years later, Charles Barkley's Nike Air Max CB 94 OG will be making a return. Now, when we saw the shoe last drop, the shade of purple used was varsity purple. Now for 2023, it's going to be pure purple, but it should be the same shade. I guess Nike's just changing things up. Also, the images you're looking at is the 2020 release, not the 2023. I know some people were excited when I shared the news on Twitter just because they missed out when they dropped in 2020. And I believe the resale price for them is in the $300 range, closer to $400. I could be wrong on that. But that's a lot of money, especially for a shoe. Back in the day when they used to drop, they would just sit and go on sale. Either way, it's a dope shoe. They're going to drop fall 2023, and the retail price will be $170. Fans of Nike SB, we have some exciting releases dropping in 2023, and the rumor is that Supreme and Nike SB will have 3 new colorways of the Dunk Low drop next year. Unfortunately, at the time of recording, I don't know the colorways of those shoes, but like always, you can expect Supreme and Nike SB co-branding throughout in special packaging. Now we should be getting a first look at least one colorway soon, and other than that I don't have any additional information, no retail price, and just dropping sometime in 2023. Born and raised a Los Angeles based brand, will connect with Nike skateboarding in 2023. Now the outcome of this collaboration will be an SB Dunk and apparel, which includes a varsity jacket. Now at the time of recording this, we don't know if the SB Dunk is going to be a low or a high. Again, just like the Supreme collab, this will feature co-branding throughout and come housed with special packaging. Unfortunately, additional information is very slim. They're going to drop sometime in 2023, but be on the lookout because once I get more information, I'll include that in an upcoming video. We have release details for the eBay Nike SB Dunk Low Sandy Bodecker. Now, an auction started on December 7th with the proceeds benefiting the Bodecker Foundation. Now, that shoe will be different from the retail release, which comes housed in a special box. It features one shoe fully intact and comes with a saw, which I thought was pretty dope. Now, for the wider release, they won't come with special packaging or the saw, but it's still a very dope shoe in my opinion. It has a lot of history. They are currently scheduled to release on December 15th at select skate shops, and then they're going to drop on the Sneakers app on December 17th. The retail price will be $130. We now have on-feet photos of the Run the Jewels Nike SB Dunk Low. In one of the previous videos at that time, there was only preview shots of the shoe, but now we have a full look. So the pair features deep royal blue, active pink, and blue chill. There's also an SB Dunk High releasing. And to briefly go over the pair, it features blue throughout. We have pink on the swoosh logos. Next, we have RTJ's handgun gesture and fist logos on the heel, while the date 420 lands on the zoom bags of the insoles. Also, one of the insoles reads Jamie 2010, I believe that's how you pronounce it, which is for LP's name, Jamie Millian, and his wife Emily Panic, who started dating on that date. The other insole has Killer Mike's birthday, 4/20/75. Both shoes are rumored to release on April 20th, and the retail price for the SB Dunk High is $140, while the SB Dunk Low will cost you $130. News broke sometime back that Jarritos and Nike SB would be releasing a Dunk Low. At that time, it wasn't known about the colorways, all that stuff. However, we have a first look. Images have been going around for some time now, and I'll be honest, I'm a little disappointed with the shoe. I felt like they could have done a lot better. However, it's not bad. Now, the shoes feature a Phantom Safety Orange and Malachite colorway. Utilizing leather across the base, we have hemp on the overlays and the swoosh logo. On the tongue, we have Jarritos branding, a swoosh, and SB. Also, that lands on the heel and insoles. Now, what I found was interesting is the branding on the lateral side. If you check out their logo, it features 3 jugs, and they have it where it's basically pouring one out. I thought that was a little bit cool, but I feel like with their drinks and the amount of colors they have, they could have done something different. There's also some rumors that the hemp might wear away. I don't know if that's true or not. I've been seeing that go around. Again, we'll have to wait and see. Now, for the release info, they are expected to drop sometime in spring 2023, and the retail price will be $130. Alright, so we got a lot of new release dates from Jordan Brand. The first one is the Air Jordan 1 High Golf Midnight Navy. Now, I believe they were scheduled to release on December 11th or 12th, but now they're going to drop on December 20th, and the retail price is $160. The next pair is a grade school exclusive. This is the Air Jordan 4 Messy Room. Now, originally they were expected to debut in November. However, we're now in December and that didn't happen. And the new release date is January 7th. Now, I believe there's a few other shoes dropping on January 7th. I wouldn't be surprised if a few of those get moved around, although that's not confirmed. And the retail price for this pair is $150. I'm sure you guys have seen the updates on this shoe. It's the Air Jordan 9 Fire Red, and now they're scheduled to release on December 13th. The retail price will be $200. So by the time this video goes live, they'll be dropping tomorrow. And for me, this is a definite pass, but let me know your thoughts down below. We now have official photos of the Air Jordan 13 University Blue. Now, I really like this pair, and I won't go over the shoes just because images have been out for so long, and I believe I've already gone over them. However, if you're looking to grab a pair, they drop on December 23rd and the retail price will be $200. Official photos also popped up of the Air Jordan 2 Chicago, and for me, this is probably my favorite pair for the month of December. Now, with these official photos, we do have some images of the box, and it just gives us an overall better look. Now, they're currently scheduled to release on December 30th, and the retail price will be $200. Now, I believe for this shoe, the release date has bounced around quite a bit, and I also believe that a lot of retailers already have the shoe, so December 30th should be locked in, and let me know if you plan on grabbing a pair down below. We have new images of the Air Jordan 11 Low Cement Gray. Now, initially, the shoes were expected to feature elephant print on the mudguard. However, Jordan Brand decided to go this route. I know some people were a little upset about that, but with this look, I don't think it looks bad. I'm just personally not a huge fan of the Air Jordan 11 Low. Now, from the previous look, what we couldn't tell or see is the university blue accents. So that lands on the heel and the carbon fiber plate in the midfoot. Now, it looks like the insoles feature a different shade of blue. However, that could just be the lighting. It wouldn't really make sense to just do a blue insole that's a different shade. Other than that, we have a white midsole, white on the mesh upper, and a translucent outsole. Currently, they're scheduled to release on April 1st for $190. On-feet photos of the Air Jordan 2 Cherrywood has arrived, and I believe this is our actual first look at the shoe, at least on the channel. Now, I believe there was a photo going around a little while ago. It wasn't our best first look. As well, there is a mock-up. So what's different from the mock-up in this pair is the suede detailing on the panel. Other than that, the color blocking is on point. I'm not a huge fan of the suede on the panels. I don't know, to me it looks off, but that's just my opinion. Currently, we don't have a release date for this pair. However, they are expected to drop summer 2023, and the retail price will be $160. Every time new images pop up of the Air Jordan 5 UNC, the shoes grow on me a bit more. Yes, I was a big fan at first, but the jock tag label on the heel, it just throws it off for me. I'm not a huge fan of it. Matter of fact, I'm not a fan whenever they put those labels on any Jordans, but sometimes they can go overlooked because the colorway, it's really dope. I'm sure by the time this shoe is ready to release, I'll want to buy them. So just want to show these photos really quickly. We've gone over these several times already and give you the release details. Currently, they're scheduled to drop on March 4th for $225. They will be available in full family sizing. In my last video, I forgot to talk about 3 shoes, and I'm going to talk about them now, and I'm just going to talk about them quickly because there's not any real new information, but I did want to give you a heads up from my sources. So at first, it was a rumor that the Air Jordan 8 Playoffs, the Air Jordan 7 Chambray, and the Air Jordan 5 Burgundy would return in fall 2023. I have 100% confirmed from my sources that all 3 will return. So it's no longer a rumor. However, I did post it on the website if you saw it. If not, I'm just going to repeat it here. So just to run down the release date for the 3, the Air Jordan 5 Burgundy will drop on September 9th for $210. The Air Jordan 7 Chambray will drop on August 5th for $200. And the Air Jordan 8 Playoffs will release on September 2nd for $200. We got a closer look at the Air Jordan 1 High OG white cement. Also, we have a shot of the packaging, which will feature elephant print throughout. And for those that don't know, this is one of multiple pairs that will help celebrate the 35th anniversary of the Air Jordan 3. So this pair features a tech gray, muslin, black and white colorway, utilizing leather across the base. Elephant print wraps the overlays, while black hits the swoosh, ankle, wings logo, laces, and tongue label. Other details includes a white midsole and a gray rubber outsole. So at the time of recording, the release date is February 25th and the retail price is $180. This is another pair that's growing on me. At first, I wasn't a huge fan of them. I thought it was just too much elephant print, which is weird because I like the Jordan 3 Flip and that shoe has a lot of elephant print as well. So let me know your thoughts on this shoe down below. Jordan Brand will also get in on the Year of the Rabbit celebration with an Air Jordan 1 Low OG. So last week we received a first look at the shoes and they feature a brown, cell, white, and gray colorway. Constructed with suede and leather, the shoe is limited to 5,000 pairs. Each is individually numbered on the inside of the tongues. On the liner we have what appears to be terry cloth, and that is to represent a bunny. We also have a rabbit logo on the insole and tongue labels, frayed laces that nods once again to a rabbit, and red and gold branding on the insoles. Finishing the look is a brown semi-translucent outsole. So the color blocking on the shoe kind of reminds me of the reverse mocha Travis Scott Air Jordan 1 Low. And at the time of recording this video, we don't have a specific release date. They're going to drop during the early part of 2023 and no retail price. We have new photos of the Air Jordan 6 Cool Gray, which features carmine color blocking, but swaps the red out for gray. A clean and simple look. The pair features gray nubuck on the base, white leather on the overlays, and then we got gray on the tongue, heel, and midsole. They come with an icy translucent outsole, and each pair is said to come with special packaging. However, we have yet to see photos of the packaging, but I'm sure they'll come out in the next several weeks. Now, at the time of recording, the release date is February 4th, and the retail price is $200. Not only do we have our first look at the Air Jordan 7 Black Olive, we have a release date. Now, I'm not going to lie to you guys, I expected something different with the shoe. They still kind of remind me of the Bordeaux Air Jordan 7, however, there's a lot of added detailing and not the correct shading, but to go over the shoes, they feature a black, cherrywood red, neutral olive, and chutney colorway. So right off the bat, some of the changes you're going to notice is the tribal-like designs that land by the toe box, also around the heel, it's very subtle, and down the heel pull tabs. Also on the heel, instead of the traditional Jordan 7 shield, we have Nike Air branding. That's a pretty big change in itself. And the tongue, it has an aged, worn out look to them. I kind of like that though. Now I do like the colorway, and the tribal designs are pretty cool. However, for me, I love that Jordan shield that lands on the heel. I wish that would have returned, but not for this shoe. So at the time of recording, this pair is scheduled to release on January 7th. This is another pair that will drop on that day. I believe the Air Jordan 4 Messy Room also drops on that day. Now, that is a grade school exclusive, but I believe there's one more shoe for January 7th, so something's getting moved. Also, the retail price is $200. We also have a first look at the Air Jordan 6 Toro. Now, this is pretty spot on to the Photoshop that was going around. And to go over the pair, it features red suede across the entire upper. We have black on the tongue, lace lock, heel, most of the midsole, and toe cap. Now, even the branding on the heel, that's done in red, so again, that's going to be a subtle look. Some more red accents land on the midsole, and then we have a translucent outsole. This shoe is actually really nice, in my opinion that is, and currently scheduled to release on June 24th for $200. We got an in-hand look at the Air Jordan 1 High OG Lucky Green. This is also our first look. Last week we saw images pop up, and then slowly but surely more and more have popped up. Again, this is another pair that's pretty spot on to the Photoshop that was put out some time back, and it features a black, lucky green, and white colorway. The pair is a nod to the 2009 DMP pack, and it features white leather on the base. We got green on the overlays around the heel, ankle, and laces. Black wraps the toe, covers the eye stay, and fills in the swoosh and wings logos. And of course, the 2023 pair will feature Nike Air on the tongue. The 2009 pair had a Jumpman. Finishing the look is a white midsole and a green rubber outsole. So this pair is known as Lucky Green. It's also being called Celtics, and they're currently scheduled to release on April 15th for $180. These last couple weeks I wasn't able to put out a video. Unfortunately, I came down with COVID, as some of you may know. And during that time, images popped up of the Air Jordan 3 Wizards PE. Now, this is another shoe that I'm excited for to drop. And basically, the shoes do look a lot like the True Blue 3s. There are some differences, of course. And Michael Jordan wore this pair when he played for the Wizards back in the early 2000s. So the pair features a white, metallic copper, true blue, and cement gray colorway. Utilizing white leather throughout, we got true blue on the liner, eyelets, and part of the midsole. Now, switching things up, we have copper on the bottom eyelets, Jumpman on the tongue, and hinted on the outsole. Now, the original True Blue 3 has red on the inside of the tongue, and I believe a couple of the retro releases of the True Blue had blue. So if you're comparing to the original True Blue, which I've seen people say on Twitter and other social networks that, oh, this is the True Blue 3, there are differences. Now, April 29th is the release date, and the retail price will be $210. We got more first looks for this video, and next up is the Air Jordan 2 Cement Gray. Now, I found this very interesting. When Jordan Brand has their meetings, most of the time they give a description, sometimes they show images of the shoe, and the inspiration behind this pair is the neutral gray Air Jordan 1. At least that's what they said at the meeting. However, with these new photos, the insoles tell a different story. So jumping ahead, we're going to go straight into the insoles. You might have to fast forward to see the photo a little bit, but it says look up in the air. Now, for those that don't know, Jordan Brand is releasing a women's exclusive Air Jordan 2 low known as Look Up in the Air, which is inspired by their original promo for the Air Jordan 2 back in, I believe, 86, 87. So the fact that they have these insoles would automatically make them part of this collection, making it something bigger, and obviously not inspired by the neutral gray Air Jordan 1. Now, on another note, it's very possible that maybe some insoles got mixed up. I'm not saying this individual does shady business who leaked the photos, but as you guys know, it does get a bit shady when you're dealing with the factories overseas and stuff like that and getting stuff early. Now, there is a possibility they're still inspired by the ones. However, I can't confirm it as of yet. This would also mark, I believe, the third time just this year that Jordan Brand had said something at a meeting and switched things up. So it's a bit interesting to me. But the good part of this is that the mock-up that I put out is spot on to the shoes. So they feature a white cement gray cell and black colorway, utilizing mostly white leather up top. We got gray on the branding, and then giving it a vintage look. Cell hits the laces and covers the overlay that wraps the heel. It's not a bad shoe. It's a little bit plain for me. I've noticed that Jordan Brand is releasing a lot of white and gray, cement gray shoes, and this pair is currently scheduled to drop on May 6th for $185. Just before I started putting this video together, we received a first look at the Air Jordan 3 Lucky Green. Now, unfortunately for many, this is a women's exclusive release. Personally, I feel like they should drop in unisex sizing. This pair is really nice in my opinion. Basically the white cement 3 with some green. Now the shoes feature a white, lucky green, varsity red, cement gray, and cell colorway. Highlighted with white leather on the base, we got elephant print in the traditional locations and green accents. Red lands on the Jumpman located on the tongue. We got a cell midsole, which gives it an aged look, and a gray rubber outsole. So at the time of recording, April 6th is the release date, and the retail price is $200. Alright, so a couple weeks back, we received our first look at the Air Jordan 1 High OG Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, and man, people did not let back on this shoe. Nobody seemed to like it. However, what I've noticed is a lot of people gave their opinion on the medial side. It didn't show us the entire shoe, of course, just one side of it. And since then, people have slowly changed their minds. And also, we got a detailed look, so I wanted to go over the shoes with you. So the overall look, the inspiration is for Miles Morales when he travels through the multiverse, as well as the color blocking that's for Miles Morales' Spider-Man suit, but it also has a Chicago-like theme. You're also going to notice a lot of geometrical shapes, even the patterns on the overlay. Also, the shoes have a wide range of materials like leather, suede, nubuck, and even patent leather. Now, one thing that looks off to me, maybe this is just me and you guys can let me know if I'm wrong on this, is the tongue labels. So the Nike Air branding on the tongue, I don't know what it is. It just looks really big. Now, this isn't a deal breaker for me or anything. It just looks different. Also, where the patent leather is on the heel, it comes with iridescent detailing. And just from the photos that have been going around, I don't see any Spider-Man branding. However, it could be on the inside of the tongue or even the insoles. Currently, the pair is scheduled to release on May 20th. They will be available in full family sizing, and the retail price will be $200. Now, with the $20 price increase, this makes this shoe an official collaboration. Of course, they always hike the price up, but again, we all knew that, right? So I do wonder if the insoles or something has some sort of Spider-Man branding. Again, that's not another deal breaker to me. I think the shoes are decent. Not as good as the first pair, of course, that dropped in 2018, but they're cool, especially if you're a fan of Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and everything. Either way, I'm sure they're going to sell out. But let me know your thoughts on this pair down below. Alright, so a bit of exclusive information. I actually put this out on Twitter and Instagram in collaboration with Z Sneakerhead Z on Sunday, but in 2023, the Air Jordan 2 Black Cement will release. So this is another pair that's inspired by the 35th anniversary of the Air Jordan 3. From what I was told by my sources and shown is that the shoe is part of what's being called Heritage Twist. I believe there was quite a few shoes that also dropped last year and the year before that was part of this Heritage Twist collection. And basically what they're doing is they're taking the Air Jordan 3 black cement and placing it on the Air Jordan 2. So although this is a mock-up, I was told this is an accurate representation of what's releasing, and it features a black, cement gray, fire red, and cell colorway. Utilizing black throughout most of the upper, we have gray on the tongue, liner, heel, and half of the outsole. We got fire red detailing on the tongue and heel branding, inside of the tongue, eyelets, and a section of the outsole. In my opinion, these are really clean. I'm really glad that they didn't try to force elephant print on it. For example, if they put it around the toe, I just feel like that wouldn't fit. It could fit on the heel maybe. Again, I would have to see that where the gray is. And as for the release details, for now, September 23rd is the release date, and the retail price will be $175. Now in 2023, Jordan Brand is releasing a lot of Air Jordan 2s. I definitely feel like some are better than others. In this case, I'm definitely going to grab a pair, but let me know your opinion on them down below. I think I'm most excited for this pair in 2023. This shoe, along with the Air Jordan 13 playoffs. I love that shoe, and any Air Jordan 14 that drops. But this is the Air Jordan 3 White Cement Reimagined, and last week we received a first look. And since then, new photos keep popping up left and right. We also have some on-feet photos. I'll make sure to throw that in the video. But for me, I'm absolutely in love with the shoe. I'm a huge fan of the vintage, aged look. I know a lot of people don't like that, but I'm a big fan of them. Also, the overall shape on the shoe is the closest they've been to the original. So one of the things that I disliked on a lot of retros was the elephant print around the toe. It's very thick. On this pair, they seem to got it very, very close. I don't want to say right because I don't own the OG white cement 3s, but they do look close. So as for the age detailing, it's here. I know a lot of people aren't fans, and I do apologize for that. And on the heel tab, along with Nike Air branding, that will be aged, as well as the midsole. Not the entire midsole, more so in the mid area, which wraps the heel. Another thing that I do like about the shoe is the leather. So from what I can tell, the leather looks really nice, but that's probably something I should wait and not get overly excited about until I get them in hand. The red on the inside of the tongue, that is tucked away like on the original release. And the pair also comes with an OG Nike Air orange hang tag. The box will be worn out. I'll have an aged look. And it even comes with the original booklet. So if you can't tell, I'm very excited about the shoes. I know a lot of other people are as well. And as for the release info, March 11th is when they're scheduled to release, and the retail price will be $210. They'll also be available in full family sizing. Now, one thing I saw interesting is a lot of people are getting early pairs of this shoe. And from what I've seen going around, again, I don't know if this is true or not. It's just speculation mixed in from what other people are saying is that there was a large shipment apparently stolen. And that's why you see so many pairs that are circulating the market that also comes with the complete packaging. Anyways, on to a lighter note. Let me know your thoughts down below. I definitely need at least 2 pairs of these, and then I'll be done with the OG Air Jordan 3 colorways. And that's going to do it for this video. Greatly appreciate you guys for watching. If you got a second and haven't done so already, again, appreciate a thumbs up. And if you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button below. I also want to thank everybody who reached out to me when I made the announcement about me having COVID. I made a community post on YouTube to let you guys know where I've been, just because I know I go missing quite often and for long stretches of time, and I didn't want to just do that again. I just needed 2 weeks off to recover from it, but I also kind of wanted you guys to know that, yeah, I'm here for good. Like, I'm not going to keep dipping out like I was before, and keeping you guys just in the loop of things. Also, I want to thank everybody who newly subscribed. I think we're about 100 away from my goal, which is 150,000 subscribers. So again, greatly appreciate it. Let me know what you liked or disliked in this video down in the comment section below. If you have any questions, drop it down below as well. Again, thanks for watching. Stay tuned to SneakerFiles.com. And if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe.